and she was like, I hit someone. She was like, I hit someone, and she was crying and she was upset.
The man landed between both the northbound and southbound trains. CTA officials immediately halted red line service in the area to allow firefighters and paramedics access to the scene. This as shocked passengers watch.
People were just going wild on the train trying to see what's going on. They weren't letting nobody know what was going on.
Illinois State Police closed the Dan Ryan down to one lane. About 450 people were taking off both trains and placed onto shuttle buses, which headed to the nearest CTA stations as the passengers were rerouted.
CTA has been really cool and really respectful, trying to help everybody.
Now, CTA officials also issued notices to people that may have been headed to work at the time of the accident. Those notices explain exactly what happened so that those people wouldn't be marked tardy. It would be held against them on their jobs. There were also reports of people that may have been evacuating themselves from the train. We were not able to get that information confirmed. Again, the identity of the man who did go down has not been released to us. Live near 28th and the Dan Ryan this evening, Antoine Lewis, WGN News.
Antoine, thank you. The relationship between Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan and Governor Rod Blagojevich is getting even uglier. Madigan put out a memo to state lawmakers spelling out how to call for impeachment hearings against the governor. The memo compares corruption under Governor Blagojevich to a tumor that has to be removed. The governor's staff quickly responded, saying, quote, "This is another example of the pettiness, silliness, and backroom games that Speaker Madigan has been playing for months to prevent progress. It's time for the Speaker to join the rest of the legislative leaders to pass a capital bill that will put thousands of people to work."
There is a new and highly detailed picture of the suspect who shot and killed 5 women at the Lane Bryant store in Tinley Park. This new sketch was developed by the Illinois State Police. Take a look at it. The shooting took place last February. A $100,000 reward is still being offered for information leading to the arrest of that killer. R. Kelly spoke for the first time during his child pornography trial today. The R&B star told the court he does not plan to testify. In a separate matter, the judge ruled jurors will be allowed to view the sex tape at the heart of the trial during their deliberations. Jurors will return on Thursday when closing arguments are scheduled to begin. Kelly is accused of videotaping an underage girl engaged in sex acts.
Nearly 180,000 pounds of tomatoes are sitting in semis on Chicago's South Side with nowhere to go. A group of truckers have been told to hold on to them despite the national tomato ban. And WGN's Lourdes Duarte is live in the North Side restaurant that's feeling the effects of that tomato ban tonight. Hi, Lourdes.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, these are the tomatoes that those truckers are carrying. Believe me, they look delicious, but these are the tomatoes that are banned by the FDA. This whole thing is certainly impacting those truckers as well as businesses like Pete's Pizza right behind me.
Pete's Pizza, the sauce is fine, but the tomato toppings are gone. This weekend, they tossed out 400 pounds of tomatoes after the FDA temporarily banned the produce. That decision came after a reported salmonella outbreak that killed a Houston woman.
Absolutely, it's going to affect the bottom line, but it's not worth the risk. It really isn't. A few dollars is not worth someone's health.
But what Pete's Pizza is lacking right now, these semis are loaded with.
Oh, if I unload these, I feel more than likely I could be jeopardizing somebody's life.
A group of drivers have been sitting in Chicago's South Side for 3 days now with nearly 180,000 pounds of tomatoes from Mexico. They say their produce broker is forcing them to wait in hopes that the FDA will lift the ban on tomatoes and he can finally get rid of them.
The grower still insists he's going to try to sell these to somebody, even though the FDA said that he can't sell them to anybody, and he's insisting that he can get them off to somebody.
Well, our insurance has to cover this product. So until they tell us, Divine Ripe states, go scrap them, we're stuck sitting here with these tomatoes.
So far, no one is biting. There's no buyer, and in the meantime, the drivers are burning fuel and worried that they won't be paid for their time.
We lose about $700 to $1,000 a day by sitting here without being able to work. License plates are...
Talk to that produce worker tonight, or broker tonight. He says that he believes his tomatoes are perfectly fine and that he's even willing to have them tested. He also said that if the FDA does not lift that ban by tomorrow, he will have those trucks come back to Texas, and he will then get rid of those tomatoes. Meanwhile, if you're wondering which tomatoes are safe to eat, well, we are told the FDA ban includes red plum, red Roma, and round red tomatoes. All other tomatoes are safe to eat. Reporting live in Chicago's North Side, Lourdes Duarte, WGN News.
All right, Lourdes, a lot of tomatoes to keep track of. Epic flooding and heavy rains have ravaged parts of Wisconsin, leaving the Wisconsin Dells signature lake dry and drained. This man is standing over the remains of Lake Delton. So much rain poured into the lake, it burst through its banks, sending tens of thousands of gallons of water through neighborhoods and into the Wisconsin River. Tourism officials say most businesses in the Dells remain up and running, including all water parks. Further east in Racine, high waters are receding and residents are returning home, but more rain could be on the way. Cleanup continues in the southern Wisconsin town. Yesterday, the Root River crested, flooding into nearby neighborhoods and parks. Throughout the area, severe flooding destroyed hundreds of homes and properties. Homeowners say they have never seen it this bad.
You see carps flying down through here, and then, you know, everything. It's weird. It's real weird. I mean, never have I seen it like this.
I feel devastated because of, you know, all the work that's going to have to be done and all the things that we lost, but they're only things.
2 public parks in Racine are closed until water levels drop. No injuries have been reported.
And some of that flooding is heading our way right into northern Illinois. A flood warning is in effect for the Des Plaines River. Officials expect it to crest in Gurnee in the next day or two. The McHenry officials have closed the lower stretch of the Fox River from Algonquin to the Stratton Lock and Dam because of dangerous navigation conditions. Downstate, Governor Blagojevich has declared 6 southeastern Illinois counties state disaster areas because of widespread flooding there. And some of the flooded areas expected to catch a break over the next few days. Jim Ramsey will tell us about some warm, dry temperatures ahead in the forecast.
And Mayor Daley responds to the groaning and grumbling coming from Northwestern students who are unhappy about him giving this year's commencement address.
Story straight ahead, and get ready for some temptation. We'll take a look at some of the tasty treats at this year's annual Taste of Chicago.
You're watching WGN News at 9 with Allison Payne, Steve Sanders, Tom Skiller, and Dan Roan. This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Superstation WGN is now WGN America. It's not just TV, it's a lifestyle. So quit your job, sell the car, and get ready to plant yourself in front of the tube.
Do not quit your job or sell your car, and if you do, at least make sure you got a backup plan and or you get a good price for it. If you do plant yourself in front of the tube to watch the all-new WGN America, make sure you have plenty of snacks on hand because wild horses, fire, or laser shooting flying saucers will be able to tear you away from the awesome stuff I just mentioned. For real, you've been warned.
WGN America, TV you can't ignore.
Millions of people are losing weight with Ally.
I, as a pharmacist, was very skeptical. I lost 26 pounds using Ally. My friends were absolutely amazed. They had no idea that Ally would work that well. If you stick to the guidelines that come with the starter pack, you'll do great. People come into the pharmacy and it's real easy to recommend the product because, honestly, it has worked so well for me.
Join the millions of people who are losing weight with Ally. Get $10 off at myally.com.
So I'm at my doctor's again because my asthma symptoms came back again. Turns out asthma doesn't go away. There's still inflammation in my airways. So even when I'm symptom-free, I'm not asthma-free. Now I'm taking Symbicort, and I've noticed a difference in my breathing. It combines 2 medicines to help control inflammation and constriction all day and night and starts to open my airways within 15 minutes. Yeah, it's good to be in control. Symbicort won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms and should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort contains formoterol. Medicines like formoterol may increase the chance of asthma-related death, so Symbicort is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on other asthma medicines. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse. I know Symbicort works to help control my asthma. That makes a difference to me. Ask your doctor if Symbicort is right for you.
If you cannot afford your prescription, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Well, tonight, Mayor Daley says he's not offended by a handful of Northwestern University students who are not happy he's going to be the main speaker at their commencement ceremony. In fact, the mayor laughed and said he's not losing any sleep over objections to him being the keynote speaker. Daley added that the students aren't the first to complain about him stepping up to the microphone.
No, I go out to communities. They don't want to hear me either. I mean, that's your part of the job. I mean, come on. You like go out, budget hearings, things like that. I mean, that's part of Chicago's life. They're going to tell you how they feel. You expect that.
The mayor says he was even amused by criticism of him being the commencement speaker, saying he expects such dissent from college students. It's part of their lives. Daley addresses the grads on June 20th.
Who were they expecting? Stephen Colbert or somebody? Another Chicago public school student has been killed, this one in a possible gang-related confrontation. 16-year-old Ignacio Montano and another person was shot in Chicago's Logan Square neighborhood. Montano was later pronounced dead at a hospital, while the other victim was taken in critical condition to Mount Sinai. Montano attended Kelvin Park High School. He was the 26th Chicago public school student to be killed in violence this academic year.
And thousands of CPS students joined together at Soldier Field today to send a message to state lawmakers to help fund programs that can reduce violence. The student-organized event was called Shout Out for Funding. The students and CPS officials hoping the event will get legislators to provide enough cash to clear up a $90 million shortfall for next year's budget.
I think we as adults have to do a much better job of listening to our students, and this is my way of saying, hey, let's put our students literally on the big stage, let the world see how talented, how smart, how committed they are.
Mayor Daley also attending the rally today, calling it the largest civics class in history, urging the students to talk about the event with their parents to build support for more state funding.
Great to see them taking action. Beautiful summer-like temperatures will be upon us the next few days. Jim Ramsey will tell us how warm it's going to get.
Hey, fellas, check this out. First time I saw her, she set my world. You know, she set my world to relive. And as the years go by for this country guy, well, we never lost the feeling. With this Billy Goat, I played my last note. I can't wait. I can't wait to get home. Viva Viagra.
Talk to your doctor about Viagra, America's most prescribed treatment for erectile dysfunction. Learn more at Viagra.com.
Viva Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing.
Here comes trouble. Make that big trouble. No, not this guy. These guys. Because just one flea can become thousands fast. On your carpet, your couch, everywhere. To stop an infestation, ask for Frontline Plus. Frontline Plus quickly kills fleas, their eggs, and larvae, even ticks. It's waterproof, and one dose lasts all month long. The last kind of trouble you or your pet needs is flea trouble. For dogs and cats, ask for the vet's #1 choice, Frontline Plus.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything in life came with a worry-free guarantee? You, get in there. Well, at Rent-A-Center, everything does. With our worry-free guarantee, we'll match any competitor's price on brand new, brand-name merchandise. No credit hassles, delivery, setup, and service included. And you gotta love it or your money back. Rent-A-Center. We make it easy to make it your own.
At these speeds, I can't risk an allergy medicine that can put my head in a fog. I only drive Claritin Clear. Claritin won't make me drowsy, and nothing works better at giving me powerful, non-drowsy relief from all my worst allergy symptoms for 24 hours. Only Claritin is proven to make me as alert and focused as someone without allergies, so I can think and react fast. For me, non-drowsy Claritin's the only way to go when I get behind the wheel. Live Claritin Clear.
Trying Claritin has never been easier. Just go to Claritin.com and save up to $8.
Becker, weeknights at 12:30 East, 9:30 West on WGN America.
Still really wet in other places, but here in the city, it dried out and
Well,
Less humid, a beautiful day.
It has been. We've got temperatures that are very, very comfortable out there. Just a few patchy clouds that are pushing over Chicago skies. But tonight we are watching a few showers develop out in eastern Iowa and extreme southeastern Minnesota. We don't think they will survive, but the cloudiness is expected to increase today. What a beautiful day it was. A lot of blue sky out there, but as these time-lapse pictures indicate, we did have some patchy cloud cover that from time to time pushed over the city. Nothing of much importance. Temperature at the moment, well, it's a very mild night out there. It's 69 degrees. Look at these numbers. 80 at Chicago Midway Airport. I think that might be incorrect. Let's take a look at these numbers. 65 at Lincolnshire, Peru 73, and Pontiac at 72. DeKalb, a comfortable 72 degrees, and 65 at Rochester, Indiana. That's close. High temperature today in Chicago, there's the number. Almost, but not quite 80 degrees. But notice the cold air that's funneling down into parts of Montana. A little county called Lewis and Clark, Montana, picked up an estimated 12 inches of snow today. But that system is going to make its way into Chicago tomorrow night. And we think that's going to come, of course, in showers and thunderstorms. There's that storm. Meanwhile, most of the weather action today has been in the east. Big storms pushing up the southeastern states through the Appalachians into places like Pennsylvania and New York. And we've seen a lot of reports of wind damage and power lines down, trees down, and no tornadoes. There have, in fact, been 336 severe weather reports logged by the Storm Prediction Center. We're still seeing flash flood watches and warnings throughout much of the Midwest. As you heard a little earlier in the broadcast, most of this area has received entirely too much rain. But hopefully these dry hours will help to improve the situation, if only marginally. These red areas are severe thunderstorm and tornado watch areas. And notice the Northeast still looking at some messy weather tonight. But we're expecting that snow system from Montana will actually intensify, developing in the plains, and perhaps bring us some nasty weather over the next 48 hours. Computers verify the same notion. This is very heavy rain expected from central Iowa into parts of southern Minnesota. Maybe as much as 4 or 5 inches out there. But for the Chicago area, once the rain comes in, we're thinking about a half an inch, isolated 1 inch totals possible. Presently tonight, mostly clear skies out there, but that's where the storms are developing tonight. So we will get in at least on some of those clouds. Here's our forecast now for tonight. The skies will, well, clouds will increase. Low temperature, 59 to 63 degrees with a southwesterly wind generally under 10 miles per hour. Let's call it 5 to 15. There may be a little gust as the cloudiness arrives. Then for tomorrow, cloud patches, a high temperature in the 80s. Winds out of the south at 10 to 15. Very summery day expected. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Lows fall into the 60s, winds southerly 10 to 20. And then for Thursday, look for evening storms to develop with a high temperature in the upper 80s to near 90 in some of the southern suburbs. 7-day forecast, again, the storms, and then maybe a chance of a storm late Sunday. We're looking at 7 days of generally typical June weather across the Chicago area. But what a great day today.
Nice temperatures. We're wanting some great weather for this. Get your appetite ready for the 28th annual Taste of Chicago. Today, the media got to sample everything from Chicago pizza and hot dogs to hash browns to caramel chocolate pecan cheesecake. That'd be what you saw just there. As for live music, Stevie Wonder will take the stage on one of the nights. The Taste begins June 27th, ends July the 6th. WGN is sponsoring and broadcasting the big 4th of July Taste of Chicago fireworks.
I don't know what that is, but that looks really good.
It's on a stick. That's all we need to know.
Sports is next. The White Sox send their hottest pitcher to the mound, trying to extend their winning streak to 8.
And the Wolves take their third crack at wrapping up the Calder Cup Championship. Dan Rowe next with the day in sports.
Chappelle Show, Friday night at midnight East, 9 West on WGN America.
See you tomorrow, Steve.
Do not let her get gum. You know it's Tony Stewart. Oh, Tony, he's a huge fan. Ready?
Tony, you okay?
Armor All wash, wipes, and tire shines. Go ahead, stare. And keep your car clean anywhere, anytime with new Armor All To Go wipes.
Live from WGN TV Chicago, the official drawing of the Illinois Lottery.
Good evening. I'm Magdalena Martinez with your winning lottery numbers for Tuesday, June 10th, 2008. Let's start our Pick 3 game. Good luck. First number, 2. Second number, 4. And your final winning number, 8. So the winning Pick 3 numbers for tonight are 2, 4, 8. Remember to play that Lotto jackpot. That has increased to $2.75 million. Good luck. Let's start our Pick 4 game. First number, 1. Second number, 6. Third number, 8. And the fourth and final winning number, 3. So the winning Pick 4 numbers for tonight are 1, 6, 8, 3. Tonight's Little Lotto jackpot is $225,000. $225,000. Good luck. First number 16, second number 24, third number 28, fourth number 20, and your final winning number 38. So Little Lotto numbers are 16, 24, 28, 20, and 38. I'm Magdalena Martinez. Good night and good luck.
Tonight's lottery drawing was brought to you by WGN TV and supervised by the accounting firm of Clifton Gunderson.
Entitled to a large cash award.
If you've been injured by this drug, call 1-800-RESULTS. You don't have to suffer. You just have to call 1-800-RESULTS.
Hey, Skip, need you in the wheelhouse.
Tenacious grip, no matter the conditions. Firehawk tires with Unity technology, only from Firestone.
Does nighttime arthritis, pain, and stiffness have you in their grip? Break the grip with new Asper Cream Nighttime Lotion. Maximum strength medicine provides fast pain relief with a calming scent and breaks pain's grip into morning. Asper Cream, break the grip of pain.
Reno 911, Friday night at 1 East, 10 West on WGN America.
Cubs baseball right here on WGN tonight. Cubs win. Ozzie might have to yell at his Sox a little bit more, though.
You didn't mention it. Your official summer baseball station. This is it.
Shameless plug.
Yes, it is. Anyway, yeah, White Sox first. They're playing in Motown. They've had the Tigers number all year long and trying to make it 8 in a row with a win in Detroit tonight. Ozzie and the Sox 5-1 against the Tigers coming in, and they get off early again tonight. Second inning, Jim Thome. They won't catch that one. His 13th of the year. The Sox build up a 2-0 lead, but it all unraveled for Jose Contreras in the fourth. Miguel Cabrera came up huge for Detroit. A 2-out, 2-run single to make it 4-2 Tigers. Sox then had a rally in progress in the 8th inning. 6-4 with runners aboard. But on Thome's base hit to left, Carlos Quentin was sent home from second, and he was out by about a mile and a half. Did they really send him with 1 out and a rally in progress? Not good there. The winning streak over. 6-4 Tigers in Detroit. Nothing but blue skies over Wrigley Field. The Cubs 26-8 in the friendly confines. Fell behind the Braves early, but did not stay there. Derek Lee leading off the third finds the bleachers 3-3. Later on, same inning. Reed Johnson with runners aboard shanks it to right, and it falls in. The Cubs had the lead. They would not give it up. 7-5 in the 8th, 2-on and 2-out for Giovanni Soto, and he got it pretty good. Did he get enough? It's in the basket, a 3-run homer for Soto. Ted Lilly, a strong outing. The Cubs roll on at Wrigley, 10-5 over the Braves.
For Gio, that's his.
We've had a penchant for coming from behind at home. They put 3 runs on the board real early, right early in the first inning, and then We added runs, and then we tacked on runs, which is really important.
Yes, it is. The Bulls' bizarre coaching search officially comes to an end at the United Center tomorrow. They bring out Vinny Del Negro as their man, maybe the last guy anybody saw getting this job. You only hope he can coach as well as he must interview. John Anderson and the Wolves, enough's enough. They let Wilkes-Barre back in the series over the weekend, but with a chance to wrap up the Calder Cup on home ice, Jason Krog makes it 3-2 in the third. And later on, here they come again. Krog on the bust out, and he buried it. A natural hat trick for Jason Krog. The Chicago Wolves are the AHL champions. The party is on at Allstate. They win the game 5-2, win the series 4-2. Congratulations to Don Levin and the entire Wolves organization. Final tune-ups for the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines. Tiger Woods still hasn't played a full 18 holes on that surgically repaired knee, but says he'll be fine. He says he's also fine with the power pairing of himself, Phil Mickelson, and Adam Scott over those opening 36 holes.
I like it. I like the way they did it, 1 through 12, the way they did that. I mean, I think it's exciting for the fans, exciting for the players. We all are looking forward to it. I haven't heard one negative thing about it yet.
So he and Phil won't have to watch the scoreboard. They can just watch each other for the first 2 days.
There you go.
Should be great.
All right.
Thank you, Dan.
All right.
That's the news for this Tuesday night. I'm Tom Negavan.
And I'm Allison Payne. For all of us at WGN, have a great night.